Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Bali. I am going to narrate a story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. In a land far away, there was a huge castle and there were king and beautiful queen. They were very sad. In a winter night, the queen suddenly pierced her finger with the needle. Looking at the gradient moon, she makes a wish of having a baby girl as white as snow. After few months, the king and the queen, blessed with the baby girl, they named her Snow White. After few days, the queen falls ill and dies. The king remarries another beautiful lady who pretended to be kind but was very cruel and had an evil heart. The queen was having a magic mirror. Every day she used to ask the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Your Highness, you are the most beautiful of all." Because of the queen's evil doing, the kingdom faced many troubles, and to fix those troubles, the king had to leave the palace and go away. Years passed by. Snow White grew to the fairest and the most beautiful princess. The queen again asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Snow White." The queen got angry and jealous of Snow White. She called her most trusted hunter and said to kill the Snow White and bring her heart. The queen calls Snow White and tells her to go and take the fresh air in the black woods. The Snow White went to the woods with the hunter. Looking at her kind heart, the hunter could not kill Snow White and tells her not to return to the palace. The Snow White sat under the tree and started crying, and she fell asleep. She wakes up in the morning. On her way, she finds a small cottage. She went into the cottage and found everything small and messy. She tidied up the cottage and prepares a delicious porridge and went to sleep on a couple of beds. The seven tiny dwarfs return home. They find everything tidy and smells a delicious porridge and surprised to see the beautiful princess sleeping on the bed. The Snow White suddenly wakes up and saw seven tiny dwarfs standing in front of her. The seven dwarfs introduces themselves to Snow White. The Snow White tells them her story. The seven dwarfs tell Snow White to live with them. They used to live happily in the cottage. After few days, the queen again asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "Snow White." The queen got furious and disguised herself into a poor old lady. As usual, the seven dwarfs went out for work. The Snow White was preparing food. The poor old lady went to the cottage and knocked the door. The Snow White opened the door. The poor old lady asked for a bowl of hot soup. The Snow White serves a bowl of hot soup. In return, the poor old lady gives a red apple to the Snow White. The Snow White takes a bite of apple and fell unconscious. The seven dwarfs returned home and shocked to see Snow White fallen on the ground. They realized that the apple was poisonous and it was Queen's evil doings. They laid Snow White in a glass casket. They kept it on the hills so that her friends can see her. The prince was passing by and he saw a beautiful lady in a casket. He opens up the casket and laid a kiss on her cheek. The Snow White opens her eyes. Knowing all the things, The king broke the magic mirror and threw the queen out of the castle. The prince and the Snow White had a beautiful wedding. The king, the prince, the Snow White and the seven dwarfs lived happily ever after. Thank you.